Yo, what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to make drums really quickly in Logic using the quick sampler and the loop function, as well as mixing your drums together using bus routing. So for example, I have my kick track here, and it's just a four on the floor kind of beat. I have my clap pattern here, and my hat. And so this way I know all the hits are going to be in the right spot when I start auditioning them. So I start looping my track, I turn on the quick sampler. By default, it's just going to be a sine wave, but if I go here where it says no audio file loaded, click load audio file, I go to my drums and effects folder. This is why it's really important to have kind of a separate one-shot sample folder on your hard drive. Go to my claps. As you can see, all the clap hits are already where they're supposed to be on the 2 and the 4, so it's much easier for me to hear how it's actually going to sound in context. So moving on to the hat, I'm going to do the same thing. Moving on to the kick. So the next thing I want to talk about is using your untagged loops section in Logic. You obviously have your Apple loops over here, but to the right of that you have an untagged loops section. And what this allows you to do is take all the loops that you've downloaded from Splice and from sample packs online, and if you import them into your loop library, then when you're playing your track, you can hear how they're going to sound at the same BPM. So basically the way to do this is, say you have all these loops in Splice, you just click here, open in the enclosing folder, I highlight them all and then just drag them over. So these are a bunch of hat loops, and then you would add to untagged loops. So the nice part about that is I don't even have to add it to the track until I've heard it in context with the rest of the beat, and I'm happy with how it sounds. It's also really helpful because if I move the tempo up and down, as you can see, nothing in this track is going to be moving or expanding because they're all using sampler tracks, or this is coming from a loop, so follow tempo and pitch is already on. So I've added another snare and another hat loop. So I want to talk about the last tip, which is bus routing, because say I wanted to add an EQ to all of these hats and all these shakers. I don't want to add an EQ to every single one of them. It's a lot easier for me and a lot more CPU effective if I just bust them all into what I call like a hat group. And then same with the clap and snare. I'm just going to bust them all into a clap and snare bus. The kick is just going to kind of go into its own thing, and then eventually they're all going to come together into the final drum bus. So what I'm going to do is the kick, I'm just going to send to the first open bus, 22. Clap and snare, I'm going to send to the next open bus, 23. The hat shaker, hat loop, I'm going to send to the next bus, 24. And then at that point, I see here I have bus 24 leading to this auxiliary track. I'm just going to call this hats. I'm going to call the one that the claps and the snares are going to snares. Kick, I'm just going to call it the kick bus. This way, if I wanted to layer more kicks on, they're all going to the same bus. And then I'm going to send all of these separate pre-buses to their final drum bus. So the kick bus is going to go to 25. The clap and snare bus is also going to go to 25. And the hat group is going to go to 25 as well. So now I've got the hats all grouped together, the claps and snares grouped together, the kick in its own thing, and then they're all eventually meeting up together at the end. So I'll show you how this is helpful by compressing all my claps and snares together and then EQing my hats. Cool, so now that I've got the processing that I want on each of these different groups, I'm just going to add some stuff to the final drum bus together at the end. So I press X to open up the mixer, and I have everything going into bus 25 here. So I can actually click read here, and then as you can see, it pops up on the arrangement view here. I'm just going to call this drum bus. And I can start adding compressors, EQs, so that I don't have to do this to every single drum hit, and it allows you to kind of glue all your drums together and put them in the same space. This allows you to do really cool automation as well. That's kind of a bonus thing, because now that it's on the arrangement view, I can just press A, open up my filter, and then easily affect all of my drums at once. Cool, so hopefully that was helpful. If you guys have questions, let me know in the comments, and feel free to like and subscribe. See you next time.